comic book fans, and welcome to another SuddenlyComics.com video. I am here with everybody's favourite Canadian, Alan, and we are looking at the hottest Silver Age sales last week at Heritage. And Alan has gone big this week. Every so often, he gets fed up with the Flintstones and obscure love comics. And I knew we were in trouble when the second comic on the list was Daredevil 1. I knew how it was going to end. And indeed, I was right. So we have five very big comics on my show. Let's see how they're doing as a market indicator. Is the market recovering? Last week we had three records and I thought the market was recovering. So let us see.
It seems like it was recovering when you look at obscure stuff. The
Yeah.
obscure stuff is performing well. These are the blue chips. These are the ones that are supposed to be blue chips. Like, they're supposed to be stable. Not doing so well so far, but we'll
Not doing
see.
so far. We had one up and it was an obscure one. Uh,
Yeah.
the four com
Questionable blue chip, actually. Um, yeah.
the four real blue chips flat or down. So let's
hmm
let's kick off, Alan. Well, let's be hopeful. Um, I'm going to show my screen, and we are going to kick off with this nice comic. This is the first appearance of Brainiac
hmm
in Action Comics 242, a super
And
space.
yeah, this is a classic book. I mean, you got, Superman just being like, what the heck? What am I gonna do here? It's just, guy standing up to Superman. It's kind of
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. And Brainiac looks really cool. And it's this purple color, which is horrendously difficult to get in high grade.
Yeah. Well, you can even see from this.
Every single spine tick shouts.
Yeah, you can see every single spine tick really, really well. Oh.
Anyway, I'm surprised this is a 6.0 given the number of spine ticks it's got. Uh,
Mhm.
so 6.0, Kurt Swan cover,
1962.
1960, no, 1958.
58. Oh, okay. Sorry, I looked at the wrong thing.
Origin of first appearance of Brainiac, first appearance of the shrunken city of Kandor.
Yeah, that's right.
So quite a key comic here.
Yeah,
Um, and the 6.0 sold for 4440. This, I think, is this our first DC one? I think it might be.
it
Uh,
might be. Yeah.
so let's see how this did. It's a great comic. In a 6.0, so it's in a mid-grade, going for 4,400. It's flat.
Maybe slightly down even.
Well, it's slightly down on the previous sale. So to previous sale
Okay.
2 years ago was 5.5.
And what was that way back when there was like a little
I don't
spike
know what
there?
this was. Somebody went
No,
up.
not that. That's COVID.
That's COVID.
What's the little
Well,
bump? That little bump right there. What's below? Like, look at the blue line.
that was 6,000.
So this is actually below pre-COVID.
Yeah. So this is way below where it was 10 years ago.
Wow.
So this has not been a good investment if you invested in the first appearance of Brainiac in 2016. But what's Superman done in the last 10 years? Not very much. A couple of
Yeah,
television.
I think the movie, if it does well,
Yeah.
it could bring life back into a lot of these Superman keys. I mean, really, Superman. Yeah, you're right. What has Superman done recently? He had a couple shows.
A couple
Not,
of television series. Yeah.
yeah. Um, but yeah, this one, very sad to see it underperform like that because it is such a major book. Um,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah. Get it now. I don't think we're getting Brainiac in the movie.
And look at the census on this; it's really low.
743. Gosh, that is low.
That's almost we were talking about Flash in Showcase 4. This is almost as low as
It
that
is
in
almost
terms of.
Flash, yes.
And this is not a book. This is a book that you would get graded if you have it because it's
You
still,
would.
it's 4,000 at this grade.
Yeah, you would get
Um,
it graded. I mean, I'd get this graded even lower grade than they. I'd get this graded in the 3.0 probably.
yeah, even a 2.0 would make
Yeah.
sense because. Yeah. So yeah, this is one you would get graded, and there's not many that were graded. So that's a sign that this is a hard book to find.
This is another undervalued DC key.
Yeah, very much so. DC never gets the love. Okay. And it seems so we're one for like
One for
like
six.
zero for yeah. We're not doing so
Okay,
well on this one.
here we go. Fantastic Four, number 48. The Coming of Galactus.
Hmm.
First appearance of Galactus.
And Silver Surfer.
First appearance of Silver Surfer and Galactus. Cameo on the last page. Inhumans and Watcher appear. Jack Kirby and Joe Sinnott cover.
And this is a really nice one. This is a 9.0 white pager.
Yeah, very nice.
And
Very.
it's yeah, it's a pretty copy. Um,
And how much did it sell for? It sold for 5.2. That sounds low to me, Alan, for a 9.0.
sounds really criminally low, actually. But we'll see. We'll see how well this one did.
Um, there are a lot of these. This is like the Daredevil.
So so actually this one I think was the one where there was a warehouse find.
Yeah, there are a lot more.
And there were a lot of high grade copies
Yeah,
found
there are a lot
in
more
the
of this than there are of 49. Uh,
yeah.
so here
It's
we,
in the high grade where it kind of loses its value in a weird way.
oh dear,
Um,
this is
but
definitely.
not this much. Not this much.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. We dropped below pre-COVID.
What's pre-COVID number?
6.7, and this
Oh,
is
okay.
5.2.
Wow. Not a good day to be a comic book collector.
And I've got one of these. Oh dear, oh dear, that's not very good. That's not boding well, especially given we've got a movie with Galactus coming in.
I know right now should be the hottest time for this
No,
book.
well, it's not having any effect at all.
We got trailers out. We
We
got all the hype.
we had Galactus tramping through New York, didn't we?
We had Galactus, and we had a female Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
So we have everything that this book kind of indicates, right?
Why is it in the doldrums? I know there are a lot of them. There are 10,387 of this.
That's a few. That's a few. That's a, that's what I'm saying. There was that warehouse find, and it kind of killed the value a bit. But still, it didn't kill it that much. This book is, yeah, it's sad. Um, it is what it is. I don't know. It's hard to say why this one's so far down because I think this is the time to buy.
Yeah, well, it definitely is the time to buy. You're not going
Hmm.
you won't have got it at this price. Last time you could get it at this price was about 2017.
Yeah, somebody got a steal on this one.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so not doing so well. Blue chips, come on.
Uh,
What are you doing?
Avengers 7, Avengers 7, Avengers 1.
Avengers
Uh,
1 in a 7, yeah, for 7,000.
yeah, all the sevens. Uh,
Yeah, so it's like almost like, well, we can say it's $1,000 a point. And I know that that's wrong. I know it's not $1,000 per point book. Usually it's a $2,000 per point book.
oh dear, this isn't boding well for this one as well. It's a nice looking copy.
Yeah, well, it is a 7.0, so you expect. This is one again, another one where you can see all the spine ticks. It looks a little sun faded, by the way.
It does bit. Yeah,
Um,
this green on Loki is like the purple on the previous one. It shows everything.
yeah, but the top label is usually a little red, more red.
Yeah.
It's this is a very light orange.
Yes, you can see the
I
red on
think,
that one. My place is a bit
here's
faded.
what can happen. And this is, CGC when it certifies a book, it says that at the time that this book was graded, this is the grade.
Yeah.
Now, if you take that book, leave it out in the sun, it's not a 7.0 anymore. I have a feeling this book might not be a 7.0
I think you might be right.
because that top thing does not. You like we'll compare it when we look at the thing, but I have a feeling some like and probably people would see that and be
Yeah,
very
well, I've seen
wary
it before
to
where
bid on.
faded copies have not done as well.
Yeah,
Let's have a look. Avengers 1 in a 7-0. It is down. I'm afraid, Alan, it is another
yeah. So
Um,
what? How does it compare to other
well, yeah, compared to pre-COVID, it's about on the pre-COVID price.
pre-COVID prices? 6.
7.3
So it's actually lower than pre-COVID,
just.
just lower. Okay, and but let's compare it like visually to another 7.0
Oh, well,
copy.
this one down here, look at this one.
Look at the red.
Yeah, that red is much redder.
See how that is? So
Yeah,
I think when people are looking at this book, they're going, is that really a 7?
yeah,
Is that really a 7?
maybe.
Because this looks like a 7 to me. That, where
Yeah,
you get the
yeah,
really good colors,
yeah, yeah,
Um, I think this one was maybe actually a high bid. Like I know it sounds weird. Oh, it's actually down, but I think this was a high bid because I wouldn't have treated this one as a 7. I would treat it more like a 5.
yeah. I
Because that fade,
agree.
that is just,
Yeah, so it's a bit of a difficult one to judge the market on because I think you're right. I think that's faded.
and
Uh,
I think that might have scared a few bidders off.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that could really impact the price.
yeah.
Okay, so what's the census on this one? This one's a pretty common book.
5.8.
5A, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, another later Marvel one, so it's gonna be a little more common. But yeah, I think this one's an interesting one just because I think somebody might have even overpaid. I really think I know it sounds weird to say that, but because it's a low price, but I think somebody overpaid.
Okay, doke. So beware when you're buying your CGCs that they aren't faded. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go, Alan. I knew it wouldn't be. You were gentle on me last week, and here we go.
Yeah, well, I said I promised you there would be spiders in your future. Um, so
Amazing
this is
Spider-Man number one, second appearance of Spidey,
Spider-Man. Yeah.
first Fantastic Four crossover,
Yeah, and one more.
and Spider-Man's getting caught in a revolving door,
No, no, there's one
and
more. One more thing.
first appearance of the Chameleon,
Oh yeah, there's that. And there's one more first appearance.
J. Jonah Jameson.
Yes, good job. So yeah, so it's a major book. It also is the first Spider-Man title. There's like so much going on for this book. It is like kind of one of the big books that people go for Spider-Man.
Well, it is, yes, I agree.
Definitely a blue chip.
Right.
And
And we
this,
spent most of the last 18 months watching this go down.
yeah. And to me, this might be still down because I think this is more like a $4,000 to $5,000 per point book, or like at least I would have expected this to be around 20,000. Okay. But 17,400.
It's not. It's down here. But is it gone below pre-COVID?
Pre-COVID is what?
Well, so February 19 was
It's kind of early COVID. That's early COVID.
19,000. Uh,
Yeah. See what I'm saying? It's like I would have guessed around that $20,000 mark.
yeah,
Um, yeah. So February actually would be early COVID. So, it's probably not, it's something that is comparable.
yeah,
Um, so it's down. It's down over that previous, you know, established price.
yeah.
Um, Very weak sale.
This is not picked up. This is not looking good. So the blue chip end of the market is not doing what it's meant to be doing for your prediction, Alan.
Well, my prediction's October.
Yeah, I know. I know.
We got a few more months. Got a few more months.
Yeah.
Things a lot has to happen. A lot has to happen. Like so much can happen from now till October. We got a couple of big movies.
What's the American president going to be? He's sort of doing hokey cokey with the tariffs, isn't he?
Well, I
One
think he's
tariff
actually.
in, take another tariff out.
I kind of told you off stream about what I thought he was doing. That he was really just using the tariffs as a bargaining
Yeah,
chip,
as a way
right?
of getting the US dollar down. Yeah.
Getting US dollar down a little bit, but also getting other countries to remove their tariffs that they have opposed against the US and to actually start trade negotiations.
Well,
Seems
see,
like he's actually achieved those
he
goals.
has achieved some of those goals. So, yeah.
So I think it's kind of wrapping up in a way. I think we got a month or two more of that kind of craziness. So we got some, and but then the real thing that's going to affect the book market is two movies that are coming out. If those two movies do well, this book could do well. These books in general could do well.
Yeah, these blue chip
'Cause,
books. Yeah.
Um, I think actually the Thunderbolts bodes well. Like the
Well, that's done
Thunderbolts
okay,
movie
hasn't
did
it?
well.
That's done
Yeah, it's done
okay.
okay. It started out a little weak because people were a little bit wary, but it's people the reception to it has been fairly positive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
There are people I know who've seen it, enjoyed it.
Yeah. The weirdest thing was I was in a business networking meeting, okay? And there was one of the women that was in the group. She's like, I don't like superheroes, but I went to see the Thunderbolts movie because my kids dragged me to it. And I enjoyed it and she recommended it to the group.
Okay, that's interesting.
That's a strong sign.
It's a
I
good.
haven't seen it yet, so I'm like curious now. Um so yeah, but this book not representative and has no connection to the Thunderbolts, by the way.
No, not, not
The
at all.
Thunderbolts do not appear in Spider-Man 1.
No, they
Just
do
saying.
not. Okay.
What's the census count before we switch over?
Oh, census count's quite high.
Like 6,000 or
5,000,
10,000? What is it?
5,000, 5,000.
5,000. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I knew it would be a high census
Yeah,
count,
so
but
there's only one comic that's going to follow this one. I don't need to tell you what it is.
we all know and love this one.
It is Amazing Fantasy 15,
15?
the first appearance of the friendly neighborhood spider.
Spider-Man, yeah.
Yeah,
And it's also first appearance of Uncle
Uncle
and
Ben.
Aunt May. Yeah, yeah, Uncle
No,
May, Uncle Ben and Aunt May. Yeah.
yeah.
And this is kind of like I've been seeing this book cover between 20 and 24,000 in this grade for the last little while.
Right.
So
Okay.
this is kind of in between those numbers. So I have a feeling it's kind of still at that bouncing around the floor kind of thing.
Bobbling along a bit. Okay.
Yeah. So
I think it's
24,
been bobbling along for a bit. Every
so
time.
22,800. Yeah,
Yeah.
for a 3-0.
Uh,
Nice presenting 3-0, by the way.
well, it is bobbling along down the bottom, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
up on the previous sale. It's down on the one before that. It's midpoints between these two previous sales.
But way still above pre-COVID at least. Like we've been below pre-COVID on a bunch of these books now, but this one's above.
Yes, no, this one is above pre-COVID. Yeah,
Yeah.
and reasonably. We're talking 15,000 up to 22. So, that
Yeah, that's reason very strong actually. Um and I think that has more to do with the reason this book had sort of spiked just like this was one of those sales that happened right at the beginning of COVID where that 9.6 sold, right?
yeah.
And it sold for 3.65 million. That happened really early on in COVID, right? And that sort of defined this book forever. So I think we're still seeing that impact now, even that people feel that this is a strong book to invest in, regardless of how much it's dropped.
Well, it certainly
Um,
appears to be a better investment than Amazing Spider-Man 1.
yeah, I guess so. Um, but it still has a high census count too.
It's 4,000 of them, surprisingly.
Yeah, but the demand is way higher for this book.
Yes, and if you've got a copy of this, you've got it graded.
Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, cool book. Yeah. Actually, can you just I just one last thing. Can you go to the 9.6? I just curious about like that was the big one that sold. That's the 3.65 million, right?
Yeah, there's only four of them. That's the sale. It was 4,210,000.
Oh, no, that's the adjusted price. What's the blue?
Oh, the blue one. 3,600,000 in September 2021.
Yeah. See, oh, 2021. I thought it was earlier. I thought it was earlier than that.
No,
That's at the that's the
that's
peak
fairly
COVID.
peak COVID. That's fairly
That
peak.
is peak COVID. Okay, so actually I was wrong. I thought it was early. I thought it was early on. My memory of that era is not so good. Um, I tried to blank it out actually. Um, but yeah, wow. Okay, so interesting. I was just curious about that. So it's more mid COVID, I guess, with that big sale.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of comic peak, that's peak COVID. Most of the peaks
Yeah.
are around this
But
September.
you know, it's interesting. It's a one of one sale.
Well, it's a one of four say. It's the only time a 9.6 is sold, but there are
And it's
four
sold.
9.6s.
Yeah.
But
I think what would really change the market on Amazing Fantasy 15 is if another 9.6 came up and how it performs. If it sells for like 2 million, which I think is probably a more accurate number,
yeah,
actually,
yeah.
um, then it would probably kill the value of the lower grade ones.
Well, I can't see any of these four people what selling.
Selling it not now.
If you were going to sell it, you should have sold it the week after this 3,600, 3 million.
Yeah, I bet you would get like probably even like a couple 100,000 more.
Yeah, you might well have done. Yeah.
Yeah, because people would be excited. Oh, it
Yeah,
must
but
be.
you missed the boat. And if your investment advisor is around, he'll be showing you what's happened to all these comics.
And say, hey, do you want to lose $1 million? This is how you do it. Um,
Yeah, because I
yeah.
suspect the four people who own this in a 9.6 are not short of a few quid.
Yeah, if you have the money to buy one of these, like it's either you're an investment company that like where they buy these kind of books, or you're individual that, you know, this is money that you can just have sitting as long as you want.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'd love to know who owns these books. You know, wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, you'd interview them all, Alan.
I'd love to interview them. So if you want to be interviewed, rich people out there, and you can send me, you know, I always like free samples. You can always send me free samples. Um,
Yeah, if you've got a lower
I'm
grade Amazing Fantasy 15, you've got the 9.6, so you don't really want that 8.5 you've got stashed away. You can
exactly. I'm
donate it
willing to take
to
it off your
the
hands.
Vice Variant show, and we will use it to upgrade our cameras. And yeah, and occasionally one of us will fly to the other one. You can see both of us at the same time live.
Yeah, see, there's so many benefits. So many benefits.
Right, that is it for this week. Hopefully, we'll be back to the usual obscure Gold Key comics and Flintstones for Alan's channel, and then I'll end up getting all the usual suspects again.
I'll give you five spiders next time.
Thank you
It'll
so
be the
much.
five spider episode.
You are so generous. So, that's it for this week. See you again soon.